Yo, what's up, everybody? Who do we got here? Neo Anderson, Grim Reaper Julian. Hello, everybody. Say hi, right? This is live. We're doing the live thing. Today we're going to go through a mix. If you have any questions as I'm going, drop them in the chat because that's the whole point of this thing is for the questions, right? Am I the best mixer in the world? Fuck no. I suck. But we've been putting out a lot of songs, and I think I have some good insight on how to make this stuff quick and efficient, and sound good. Annealent. Dude, I cannot say that. Whoa, that was real bad. Great. How are you guys doing? So what we're going to do is go through a song that I'm mixing now. Let me bring you into the project. I hope you guys are enjoying the ambient music from the PlayStation, because that's one of my favorite ambient tracks of all time. So what we're doing here is we have a cover from the new Tekken game, Tekken 8. That is right, Tekken 8 is out. Oh, look at that. He told me how to say it. Awesome. But the new Tekken game is out. I'm still going to play it. I just haven't had time because I've been working on the covers. But we have a cover, and we have guitar, we have bass, we have all this fun stuff ready to go. I just have everything dropped into my template. Here's my Reaper template. I've went over this 1,000 times. Let me just go through it quickly. If you guys want to learn more about this, I have other videos up on our YouTube channel about this template. My template evolves over time. It always changes. I always add new things, but it relatively stays the same. So what we have here is a sound effects group. This group's super important to our overall sound. I think it's the thing that makes us sound like Lame Genie completely. I'm going to be going into these sound effects first because whenever I get a project in or tracks from the guys, the first thing I always do is sound effects. I do my sound design right away. After that, I get into the synth work. But I think once you've had the sound design in, you got to get a general... that's kind of where your creativity comes in, and... I know it's weird to do sound design first, but I feel like I can feel what the part should be as I'm putting the sound design into play. I don't know if that translates to at all. Nope, template videos are not. They are just in general. We have all of our videos. We don't have anything behind memberships. So if you go into our YouTube and if you search for like Fall Guys mix breakdown or something. I think I did a full mix breakdown of our Fall Guys. Granted, that was a couple years ago, but the template's kind of the same. I mean, I still have everything grouped almost exactly the same, and the workflow is very, very similar to what it was back then. So let me keep going through this. I don't have the template anywhere to download. I use too many plugins that are not free to have a downloadable template. I'll take you through this workflow too for all my tracks. But again, they're very, very simple. So let's just go through. So I have a couple of synth drum tracks here. These are mainly for noises, synth drum tracks, and a noise fill, which sounds really cool. Kind of has like a... You guys hear that? So I can throw that in. I have all this stuff loaded on my template like first. It comes in like this. So... This is stuff that I use in like every song, and because it's here, I'm more likely to use it. Instead of having to say, oh, you know, sound good this part, let me get that noise fill track that I built 6 songs ago. It's like, no, I have it right here. If I feel like I need it, it's here ready to go. Percussion track. So this is my shakers and tambourines. We went over shakers and tambourines in the last video and how important they are to everything. So... I'll go through it just a hair when we start the mix, but I use shakers and tambourines throughout the entire song. Yes, dude, it sounds just like Undertale, right? All that is just noise and sound effects from, I believe it's the Contact Super Audio Cart library. So we got... Sounds like Metatone, right? But yeah, I use that so much when doing transition parts. Even for percussion samples, I still throw that kind of stuff in. The drums, I have a mix of Get Good drums and Steven Slate drums. My drum bus is right here. This is where all my MIDI goes into. I also have... so what I'm doing is I have a One Kit Wonder, which is my Architect's kit. The reason I'm using this is because it's very, very similar to my kit. You can see it right back. It's very similar to my acrylic kit. So I'm only using the drums from this a little bit. They're just mixed in just a hair. And then what I'm using for the rest of my drums is the P4 kit from Periphery. Again, just using a little bit from this kit. Mainly the cymbals and the room mics. I'm also augmenting those drum sounds with a bunch of samples from Trigger. So those samples are also layered in with my Get Good samples. Again, I think I went over that before, so I'm not going to do it here because it's going to take a long time to go through all that shit. Bass, my bass group, I have a bass amp. This is just an instance of Parallax, I believe. Yep, with a preset that I've altered since then. I have a couple of bass tracks. I have a spreader track, which is essentially just a stereo widener. And 2 alt tracks that if Mike gives me different takes, I just want somewhere to put them. That's why I have the bass tracks grouped into the amp track. I keep these at unity gain all the time. I never touch them because I know it's going to go into an amp track. So the cool thing about having these tracks grouped into the amp is if I do have multiple takes from Mike, I don't need to load up another instance of the bass amp in order to hear them with the bass tone on them. No matter which track they're in, they're going to get amplified through the bass amp. So I have a workflow like that because, again, I like to audition things. This rev track I created just for this. So far, there's a couple of parts in this song that do little reversies. So I already pre-processed those. Guitar bus. So I have my 2 leads. I have 1 and 2. So if Jeff does a bunch of leads that are, I kind of group my leads into different segments, right? I have my in your face in the front leads. Those will always fall on this track. And track 2, these are exactly copies of each other. So if he has 2 leads that overlap, I want the same tone on both, but I don't want to crossfade on top of each other. I can just put it in the other track. This is my guitar harmony. I call this the fat track. So this is a Game Tracks. Hello from Brazil. Hey man, how's it going? So this is my harmony track. This is a kind of a copy of the lead tone, but then it gets split left and right down the line. This is also, it's not a huge split, but it's enough to give it a little bit of width. So the harmony track doesn't fight with for the middle space with my lead. Guitar extras. This is affected parts that usually sit hard left, hard right. I'll pan those depending with my automation, but usually these are tracks that are more meant to be in the background. I have a little bit of a different EQ curve on these so they don't conflict. Then I have my rhythm bus that goes into a sub bus that goes into my main rhythm bus. The reason I have 2 buses here is I used to have a set of down-tuned tracks here, so they were -12s, and those would all feed together into the rhythm bus. I don't use those anymore, really. Now I have these automation lanes. I'll talk about all this stuff later. So this is my detune now, so I can do them individually. I'll talk about how I'm doing that in a minute. Then we get down to my song track. So this is a song imported. My orchestral bus, which I have nothing in yet. I'm going to do all that today. And also, most importantly, my synth bus, which I have nothing in, and I'm going to do all that today. And then I have a couple of effects tracks down here that I've built. Noise Riser is just white noise. Noise Riser Glitch is white noise with a glitch. Synth Riser is a synth. And Synth Riser Trance is a synth with a trance gate on it, which is my favorite. Shut up, Joey. Shut up. Joey says you are legitimately so incredibly talented with this dude. Nope. I've just been doing it a long time. That's it. I'm no more talented than anybody. I've just been doing it for half my life. MIDI. So this, I wanted to go over this because I thought it was interesting. I answered a couple of questions people didn't have questions, but I chimed in on a thread about how we do our MIDI, and I thought it was an interesting way how we work. So all this is generated from our guitar and bass. So if you look up here, let me show you how I do this. So when I get tracks from Mike and Jeff, the guitar and bass respectively, what I like to do is in my mixer, I have an instance of Melodyne on a lot of things, and you're gonna be like, wow, that's heavy processing. But these are offline. These don't do anything. Billy. These Melodynes are off. They're not even taking up any CPU, but I have them loaded on the bass track before the amp, offline, the lead tracks, the harmony tracks, and the background guitar tracks. And the reason for that is Melodyne is amazing at being able to extract MIDI from anything that has notes, right? So let's take this lead, for example. How am I going to do this and show you at the same time? All right, so here's my guitar tones. Let me turn on Melodyne. Thanks, dude. I'll try and slow down too. I think I just had like a Coke Zero, and I'm like fucking wired. Nah. So let me open Melodyne. Melodyne takes a while. I hope it doesn't crash Reaper. That'd be very disappointing. But I'm gonna open Melodyne and show you what it can pick apart from the guitar tracks, which is very awesome. So as long as you have it on the top of your chain, it's not going to be affected by anything below it, obviously. So you don't want it to try and figure out what distorted guitars are. So, all right, so let's open this to the side. Melodyne is now up there. Let's take a look at this guitar track. Let's hear it in solo. That needs to be edited. Oh no, Melodyne's fucking it up. Okay, so what is going on here is this is Melodyne. You see that? And Melodyne looked at all these notes. Oh, I forgot how to zoom. Melodyne looked at all these notes and was like, "Hey, I know what all of those notes are." So this is Melodyne on the guitar. It's picking apart all this shit. It's picking apart all this. This is all guitar within Melodyne that Melodyne was able to figure out. So that way I didn't have to go into the guitar track and figure out all the MIDI for this shit. Melodyne was just like, hey, here's VG music in a plugin, pretty much. So I was able to get a very, it's not 100% accurate, but it's fucking close. So Melodyne gets really close with this on single note instruments. What I do from there is settings, save as MIDI. It gives you a file, and that file comes back, and it looks very, very similar to this. This is what I get back from Melodyne. Vienna! What's going on? So this is what I get back from Melodyne. It's fucking awesome. I don't have to do any of this shit. All I had to do was go in and move a note to the left, move a note to the right, clean up something that might have been like a bend that it didn't know what to do. But, within like minutes, I have all the guitar lead MIDI for the entire song. It's fucking awesome. I do the same thing with his harmony tracks. I do the same thing with bass. So here is Mike's bass. All nice, all simplified. I'll usually do some things that make it sound more like synth ready, not bassy. So I'll take out all of the pick attack. I'll make everything mainly one note. I don't want, a lot of my synths I don't want to be like pulsating like a pick would do. I feel like that sounds weird to a synth. Synth I think really shines in production like this when it like can like be held out and has like time to like evolve. I don't like pokey synth. We have so many pokey instruments in here. But you know what? I just realized I haven't even played the song yet. So let me take a little minute here and let me play this track. So this is just me. I haven't done any mixing yet. This is what the song sounds like coming, me dropping guitar and bass in just for my template. So this is just all template stuff. I'll play a little bit and then I'll stop and talk. Sounds good already. I mean, I could release that and be like, that's my VGM cover for the week, just constantly popping out rough bullshit, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna go into each of this stuff here where it may need an edit, and I'll start, like I said, I'll start with the sound design. That's what I always do first. Let me go through the tambourine and shakers. I already put these into place, but usually I'll start with this. So what I do here is I have a tambourine and a shaker that I put in every single song. So let me just give you a listen to the tambourine and shaker. Tambourine, it's just pan hard-ish, right? On the other side, I have a shaker. Nice, that's nice. What that does to the drums is it makes them. I could be playing anything on drums, and the tambourine and the shaker is gonna make it feel very consistent. So let me play that with the drums. Nice. Isn't that nice? Isn't that nice, guys? Again, it just makes everything like push forward and in a really awesome way. And what I like to do too is for like versy parts, I'll take that same shaker, and then I have a track here that I think it uses Faturator. Yep. So it uses Faturator. It distorts the shaker a little bit, and then it splits it to the side. So that's coming out left and right. I don't know if the stereo is going to come through on the live stream, but it's coming out left and right. You probably can't even hear that. But it's there. So what that does is between these two parts, the left, right down here, and then stereo regular shaker, it makes the whole song, like the parts feel different because there are different elements doing different things. Falcon Stories. No, your music mixing skills aren't poor, dude. I played some of your songs on the left drum stream, dude. Sounded awesome. Well, if they're poor too, which I don't think they are, but if you think they are, then you should probably stick around or catch the VOD. So what I'll do too is sometimes I'll double time the shaker. I do that here. So that just gives the part a little more oomph, you know? Ooh, that's some hot shaker going on right there. That guy's going nuts. And again, I'll use this same methodology of layering percussion elements throughout the entire song. So chorus stuff, I'm doubling shaker tambourine, stereo shaker. You know, there's a reason I have the tracks laid out like this. I can just easily drop shit in, and I know that it's mixed in a way that's gonna be, you know, usable already. I don't really have to do shit for it. So, dude, you always gotta have a shaker. It's a Super Monster Party. It's so underrated. Nobody understands how huge it is to have shakers and tambourines and percussion elements. Everyone always concentrates on the fucking guitars all the time. And the reason a lot of mixes and a lot of people's stuff sounds bad is because the drums suck. It's that literally that simple. If the drums are good, and if the drums sound good, and if the fills are realistic and the beats are realistic, the song's gonna be okay. You can play whatever the fuck you want on top. No one's gonna give a shit. Oh, cabinet making. That's pretty sick, Falcon Stories. So let's keep going. Let's start with the sound design shit. And then from the sound design, I'll then kind of backtrack, listen to the original song again, and figure out what I need to do. Where'd I get the shaker and tambourine samples? These came from, so Joey Sturgis has a nailed, oh, I forgot. I have a piano that's on all the time, right on my lap. Isn't that cool? So Joey Sturgis has a Nail the Mix session. Vola, who I'm a big fan of, the band, they had these great sounding tambourine samples and shaker samples, and I just took them, and I've been using them for years. The same Vola tambourine sample. Oh, right here, shaker. It even says Vola after it. Can you see that? Tambourine, Vola. So sick. Fucking awesome. But wherever they recorded those, however they recorded those, they work for me. They sound fucking great together, so I use them. All right, so let's do some sound design stuff. This is like, for me, the most fun part, and this is when the song kind of like starts to come together. So over here in my media browser on the left, see I'm moving it. I have a bunch of samples that I use all the time. I've curated these over a long period of time. These are just like movie scoring hits and shit. So like I use this one. Fucking awesome. That sounds so cool, doesn't it? And then oh, this one. Oh, this one. Isn't that nice? That was fucking good. Oh, thanks, dude. Oh, science? Yes, dude. Science. Remember the Lost City of Cadavra? Or is it Lost Skeleton of Cadavra, the movie? The guy just says he was doing science all day. So what I'll do with these samples is I layer them. Oh, there's a bass drop. Sorry, headphone users. What I'll do, can you guys hear the audio okay? Just want to make sure. What I'll do with these samples is I'll layer them in. And I do it very, very similar every single time I do a project. If you've seen me mix before, you know that all this shit is the same. So what I'll do is I layer I think it's this one. I layer my first impact that I use on a regular basis. Science! I'll layer my first impact, which is this dude. Sounds awesome. And I'll layer that with this symbol. Everyone say science on 3. 1, 2, 3. Science. So I'll layer the shit in. And immediately this is gonna sound way cooler. Okay, so here's the before. Fucking lame. Oh, the stream stutters. Shit, that's probably on me. Sorry, dudes, if it's stuttering. Johnny M. Good. That's cool, but when do you get to the guitars? Of course he would say that. Everyone always cares about the fucking guitar. Guitars suck, alright? It's the drums, guys. I'm telling you. Alright, so before with this impact sounds like boring. Whoa, fucking awesome ring out, dude. So when I put the oh, it just stutters with the sound. I wonder if that's my noise gate. I have a pretty hard gate. Try this. That may work. So here is it with the impacts now. Let me put the impacts in. This is gonna sound way cooler. Oh, it's like night and day. And that's how you be lame, Genie. That's literally it. So now we'll go through the song. I'll just start putting these effects in. Kind of willy-nilly, but like again, I've been doing this kind of stuff for forever, and I know how to do it now. So I have this one, Flutter Short, which I use, and Wind Up. I use these guys together all the time. All Flutter Short is this cool like flutter, and it's short. Fun. Isn't that fun? I'll turn the audio up just a hair. That might be a little bit better. So the Flutter Short is cool, and I always use that in tandem with Wind Up. All the time. These guys always live together. They're roomies. So let's put these guys in, and now the transition to the next part is going to sound really cool. Instantly better. Instantly sounds like a song. So let me listen to this fill. What else can I add here? Alright, so there's a snare there by itself. So let me add a moment. So let me add a big snare to this. Nice. So I have huge snare bombs. I like to add these whenever there's a snare on its own. What this is going to do is trick you into thinking that my snare tones are bigger than they are. I had a conversation with other people about this before, where my methodology when building this template out is I want something very, very basic, but I want it to start sounding good, but I want that template to be ready to be processed on top of. So I have really good sounding drums anyway. Like, I think these drums sound really good, right? And the fill sounds cool. That sounds fine, but you know what sounds cooler is when that snare sounds like it's played in a cave on on that's it. That's fucking awesome. Who wouldn't want their snare to sound like that? But I don't want my snare to sound like that all the time. I just want it to sound like that when you can hear the snare on its own. Or maybe if there's a guitar, like I want the space to be able to have wait. So I wonder if my internet is being shitty. Anyway, so I'm gonna pretend like that's not happening right now. Am I not connected to... Oh, I plugged in my hardwire. Maybe it's... Let me know if it's still stuttering. I'll make sure my hardwire is plugged in. But again, I want my drums to sound big when they need to, and I'm not gonna add reverb to the drums to do that. I'm gonna add other samples on top of them. So let's keep going. Let's just power through. Let me try and do this as fast as I can. Okay, so I built this part out. Let me add... I always augment my single bar hits or my like 4 hits. I always put crashes of digital crashes on top of those. Again, I have a drum tone that I like. I'm just gonna start adding shit. I'm not gonna change the tone of the drums to give my cymbals more sustain. Like, they sound fine in a beat, but they don't pop enough for like parts. So let me show you what these sound like. Okay, and then I'll put another one here. I think I use... What I use there? Is that cold? Airburst? What is that? Airburst. Let me do airburst, and I'll do fucking bird call, dude. Sick. And then airburst. Cold's gonna be my 1. So listen to the way these cymbals... So I have this one panned hard left, this one panned hard right. These tracks are always there. They're always pre-mixed. I know what I'm gonna put in that track. It's gonna be these cymbals. So listen to the way it makes these drums pop. Already sounds fucking good. So let me now, next part, let me make a little transition-y thing. Should be right here. Sweet. That sounds fucking good. All right, let's keep going. Sweet. Alright, so that's going to be a part. I know that part's going to die down. I know there's going to be... I know what that should sound like. So let's do this. Alright. So I'm going to wind up into this gap. Make sure I cut it very tight. Okay, and this is going to be... I want another snare bomb here. Again, I'll probably take some of this stuff out. I'll probably take some of this stuff out when the final mix, when the mix starts to come together, but this is all stuff that I just get in preliminary, so it's just one this is so routine at this point. This is no creativity. This is just me going through and putting big parts in, and then I'll pull them out later if they are too big, which happens a lot. Alright, sick. I mean, that's already sounds fucking good. Sweet. So now I know the rest of the song is a copy and paste job starting from here. So let's copy and paste starting from there. And then it's one less thing to have to do. Again, we're all about speed here, guys. You can't mix fast. When are you doing what you like? So I think the song is done now. I just copied and pasted shit. I know that most of the end of the song is the same. All I need to do is put this here, right at that last hit. There's a fill there. I'll work on that later. Okay, so now, now I have a huge chunk of the song done. We just did all this shit, right? This is all new. And this is what's gonna make the song pop. I can leave it like this and be happy with the result. But you know, we need to keep going. So I have all this MIDI. Let's listen to the song and see what the song is doing. See what I can pull from the source, and see if I can add some of that production into our metal arrangement. All right. So what I hear, that's fucking sick. I love this. So there's like a big bois. Like, let me see if I can find. Do I have a bois? I think I might have a bois. Slams. They must have used the same fucking library to do all this shit. Alright, so let me put in my bois. Sick. Alright, let me go down. That was literally the same bois. Am I mistaken in saying that? I'll drag you down. And let's listen to that again. That sounded exactly the same. It's close, dude. It's fucking close. Thanks, Johnny. It's not hard. That's the thing. Yes, I've been doing it a long time. We've been doing it a long time. But once you know, like, I think a lot of it is knowing the sound that you're after. So I'll label this bois. And let me take all the low end out of this. Once you know, this plugin's fucking awesome, by the way. The workflow on it is so good. And it's stuff like this, right, where fucking plugins don't make a difference, but knowing how to use the plugin that you like, I think that's where you get your best mixes from. Like I've used this plugin so often, and it's pretty new, but I do use it a lot. So what I did there is I took a bunch of low end out, I scooped a bunch of low mids for the mud. I dropped more low end because I know this bois is going to be real fat. I added some distortion to it, and that's about it. And I think it's going to sound worse, but it's going to sound better in context. Fucking awesome. And let's hear that with the guitars. That's way too loud. Sick. Sounds fucking awesome. It already adds so much to that part. What else do they got in here? Tekken, where are you? Dude, there's a fucking snap in there. Did you guys hear that? Oh, that's so sick. I gotta find a snap. I need, I think I have a bunch of snap samples. Let me see if I can get a snap. I want that. Oh, this is gonna be so fun. I'm glad I picked this song to demo with because there's a lot of production that's gonna have to go into this, and my computer is not gonna be having this. It's gonna be yelling at me the whole time. Oh, I hope DrumLab is loaded. I just moved all my samples the other day. Fuck. Yes, I can, right? DrumLab, hell yes. Hell yes. Snaps. Where are my finger snaps? Sweet. Let me replace that with this dude. Where are you? Nice. I like that guy. Can I get double snaps? No. Let me try hit one. That's a good snap. Do you guys like that? Let me sample that out so I don't need an entire track just for that. You guys like this snapping? Is that mad satisfying or what? Sorry. So here's my snap, and it's gonna sound sick. It's gonna compress the hell out of it. All right. So let me bounce that. So now I have a snap, right? And now I can use snap. Ooh, it's like a double. It's 2 hits. That's fucking sick. Sweet. All right, so let's start processing this snap. And this is all going to be worth it, I swear. So I can remove contact now. We don't need it. Let's take a little lows out, even though there's not much, but I really want to compress this guy. There's going to be a lot of snapping coming up. Just bear with me. My goal here, if you can hear me talking over the snapping, is to really fucking wreck this thing. I don't want it. I want it to be huge. Oh, that's already sounding better. For big things, I like to use OTT, the Slate version. Justin, if you can pay me for the money we would have made for this to get copyright claimed by Nintendo, I will fucking gladly add the Switch noise in here. I will take that chance. If I can get some of that Sylvie money to pay us back, even though we don't make shit off YouTube. So, saying that, if you guys want to donate to our Patreon, feel free. Eventually, I want to move a lot of this stuff to the Patreon. I feel like it's very Patreon worthy. But let's get the snap in check. Let's fucking snap it. Nah, come on. Alright, I'm gonna add a reverb before OTT because I want it to take the... I'm just gonna make it like a room reverb. So let me make a little roomy. I want it to sound like it's in my house. It's pretty good. Let's make it a little longer so I can hear the reverb tail. Sweet. Alright, so let me add OTT. Alright, it's starting to come up now. I gotta scoop some of those mids out. Maybe I'll use a... Nah. Alright, that's not bad. It's so fucking noisy though. It's so aggressive. Alright, that's pretty cool. So many snaps, dude. Everybody. You guys do that? Alright, so let's do... Let me add some Pro Q. Let me get a lot of that mid-range out of there because I don't want it to be very... I don't want it to be pointy, you know? Like, I don't want this. And this is going to be so... Dude, this is going to be such a small part of the song. But I want that snap. This is the kind of stuff we go through every day. I sit down in my basement and I mix these huge sounding snap samples. Whew, starting to sound good. And then, you know, let me go nuts. Let me add a limiter on the end of this and just fucking wreck it. I'm gonna make it sound the worst I've ever made anything sound in my life. Is that auto gain reduction? Here we go, auto gain reduction. Oh, that's good. You hear how nice and you hear how flat that is now, and then now you're also getting a ton of that room. Listen to that nice room. All right, so now let's put that into place. Now that we have an obnoxious snap sample that I spent way too much time on. And see how we got rid of that noise? Because that was all in the track. All right, so let's hear where's that snap sample come in? It's right. It's right in between the beat. That's fucking sick. Tekken, you dogs. Make sure that's right. Nice. Let's hear that in context. Good. I just need synth drums to make my drums sound way cooler. All right, so let me work on my fill. I have a fill here that mimics the fill. All right, that snare needs to be compressed with my... the snap needs to be compressed with my drum bus. I want it to mesh. Let's hear this. Let's be louder. All right, now what I'll do, I have a bunch of automation. Look at this, all these automation lanes. I know, dude. The snap, like, it pops way too much. And in my head, it feels like it's way too loud, but it's really not. We're just so used to hearing it. So I have all these, see all these automations? I can turn those on with a hotkey. All these automation lanes, see these little lines in between the tracks? These are all automation lanes that I have pop up automatically when I start the session, because I know I use all this shit all the time. For example, I have an FM effect on my drums that I can use whenever I want. So let's hear that. Here's a regular fill. Oh, let me solo it. Okay, that sounds fine. I also have this FM EQ I can put on, just ready to go, dude. And then I also have this crush, which I use on most of my fills. And this is gonna make my drums just sound big. Woo! Sounds so big. Sounds fat as fuck. All right, so now let's hear that with the snap. Sick. All right, and that's gonna blend nice when I start getting the rest of the synths in there. All right, let's listen to this again. All right, let's add, I need synth drums in there. I gotta get, my drums need to sound bigger now. These drums should be okay. I believe these are my Juggernaut drums. Let me hear these drums. These are really subdued. What do I have on this? Ping Pong Pan. Oh, this is just a layer track. Let me get a new synth drum track. Dude, yes, that is the PS4 noise you hear. I like to have a little ambience going because I don't like the dead air. So, no, I did not accidentally leave my PS4 on. This is intentional in the background. So enjoy the ambience, guys. Let's see. Take Ping Pong Pan off. I have this filter like fucking nuts. All right, now let's try. I think this reverb needs to come off too. All right, let's see what kind of synthy drums I have. That still sounds pretty flat. Why? Sounds pretty heavy. What do I have here? Oh, I have a lot of the mid-range sucked out. Oh, cinematic. I want massive dubstep. That's my favorite. This kicks sound awesome. Woo! Whoa! Yeah! Yeah! All right, so let's do. Fuck. Let me tune that up just a hair, so kind of. That's gonna be way too aggressive. It's all right. I don't need that. Let me do snares. I love this kit, dude. All right, so we got that. Let me do this fill. I got Tom's hair. Let me do all the toms as kicks. So I have, so it makes my drums sound a lot fatter, right? Let me try this. So it's Good. And now let me bring these down. They don't need to be that loud. And that's gonna make my drums sound fucking nasty, right? Good. So that sounds way better already. Let me start getting some of the bass stuff in so I can get a little chords going for this intro. Where are we here? So what I have here is all my MIDI. It's loading into one bus that has resynth on. And it just sounds obnoxious, but it's nice to be able to listen to this shit with a very clean synth, so I know exactly what I'm getting. So let me turn resynth off now. Let me hear some orchestral shit. Where are you, buddy? Why'd you stop? Sick. That sounds good. Let me add my OTT piano, which is just a piano track that has OTT on it again, and it usually sounds obnoxious and big. Let me take my reverb off of that. I have to do this every project just to make sure. The piano's reverb really messes. It has like a lot of noise in it, and it really messes with OTT. So let's hit piano. Ooh. I know a lot of this stuff doesn't sound like it's doing anything, but it really is. Whoops. Let me stagger those just a bit. There we go. That's too staggered. Okay. Sweet. That sounds good. Let me put my choir in. Is there some automation on this that's giving it that weird pop there? That's better. And then I'll use trance on this, which is a synth that I have in TranceGate, and it always sounds sick. It makes every part have like a ton of so. I mean, does it get any better than that, guys? I don't think so. Alright, so now we're starting to move. Alright, let's hear the song here. Oh, that's so sick. Alright, so I want to replicate that. Let me add... I want to take these. I want to do like a sweep. Do I have any EQ on this already? Let me see what I got on the guitar bus. I do have a sweep already here. That's fucking great. So let me sweep these in. Let's do one of these dudes. And I'm gonna have this come in fully on that pick scrape, wherever the hell that is. There it is. So I want that to be fully in by the time that pick scrape comes in. Fucking boys of summer. Alright, now I'm gonna take these synth drums that I used earlier, and I'm gonna not play my drums at the beginning of this. Why would I not play my own drums? Because it sounds cooler when it's not my drums. And then when my drums come in, it's gonna sound even fucking cooler than that, guys. Alright, so let me see if my drums match. Nope. Bonk. Alright, view, piano roll, show all notes. Alright, where are my synth drums at? Starting at C2, yep. So let me align these. Why did they fall off so much? What's going on here? I copy those in like, oh, I fucking whiffed like fucking crazy. All right, let me copy that in again. Jesus, I don't want to have to retime all that stuff. It'd be a waste of my time and yours. All right, get these out, move these up, octave up, quantize that. I got. I'm gonna duplicate this track so I don't mess with the fill tones that I already got. That way I can EQ this different than the fill. I hate that kick. I need something a little drier than that. Alright, now let me add a EQ to this. I'm gonna add a Pro Q. I'm gonna filter just like I did with that other thing. Starting from here, frequency. I have a hotkey to add any control I touch to the arrange here, so I can easily add these automation lanes, which is wicked awesome. All right, Canner, dude, I fucking appreciate you coming, man. I love you. Good luck with your kids. Let me add a little symbol in there. What do we got for symbols? Let me hear this. Oh, I like that one. Very Nintendo-y. Alright, so let me add one symbol all the way across, and then I'll start filling in some deets. Okay, symbol, here we go. Make these really tight sounding. All right, so now we have this sweet beat. Missing a lot of chat here. Okay, that's sounding good. Let me get. What happened to the guitars? The guitar just like disappear there? Where'd you go, guys? Oh, did this copy all the way to the end? Yep. All right, let me. This needs to be automated in. Fucking duh. So let me do. Oh, this should be all the way down. I'll gotta go opposite. So what happened there was, because I had this fade in EQ track, I didn't have it bypassed, so it was EQ curving the front guitars. There we go. That sounds better. Alright, so let me add some synths with those leads too. I think I have his lead here. Let me just make sure. I think I want that to be like a staccato string. Yeah, sounds lame. So let's do, maybe we'll try like a synthy patch. It's pretty cool. And let me get the, I think he's an octave up. I think I have another synthy patch here. I'm missing a note there. Yep. It's starting to form. I'm gonna keep looping this until I can get it to sound like a part. Let me group these synths. That way I can apply that. Let me apply the EQ curve to the entire synth group. This is one of the reasons that I group. I want to be able to control multiple things easily. Where did that EQ go? I could have sworn I just put it back. Huh. You off screen, buddy? Uh-oh. I can't pull this EQ up for some reason. Let me get in the mixer. Where are you? Oh, that's fucking weird. Alright, so let me do that same kind of an EQ move on this synth group. So that should be like this. That way I can make this whole part sound kind of underwater, right? Alright, that's starting to sound fucking sick. And yes, that was Captain Crunch on my desktop. I do a lot of videos editing for my brother's channel, Born to Be Rad on YouTube. He does a whole bunch of horror movie, 90s stuff reviews. We do a lot of food stuff, and whenever we talk about a cereal or something, I always put the pictures of the cereal in. That's what I'm trying to tell you. In reality, I'm just fucking obsessed with Captain Crunch. Alright, so let's keep going with this. Let's start building this out. Let me add the transgate in here as well. I think that might sound good. Is that out of time now? I feel like I work a lot louder than this, and I don't have it as loud, so I don't have to use headphones. Where are you? Good, good, good. Let's hear transgate again. Not doing anything, buddy. There you are. Ah, it's because this guy's so low. Why is all my MIDI, like, stopping? I don't understand what you're doing there, Reaper. Why are you cutting me off? There we go. Doesn't like the high stuff? Huh. Sweet. Pair all that together. Alright, sweet. That sounds fucking good. So let's add some of these noise riser tracks. Let me add a track in here. This is just going to be white noise, but it's going to make the transition sound really good. Hear that? Hear that fucking sweet-ass white noise? Alright, so what I'll do is now I'll ramp that in, and now that white noise sounds like this. Right? Pretty cool. That's way too loud. That's better. I also have a glitched version of that, which I love to use. I'll start that one earlier because that one sounds fucking crazy. So let me show you this glitch one quick. It does something different every time you play it because it's, I think it's Stutter. Yeah, Stutter Edit from Isotope. So going into the next sound really sick. Sounded good. Oh yeah, atmosphere. Alright, so let's do, I want my fill to pop. Let me put my compression back on. And I also want to make sure that this on its own. Good. Why does that look off? Is that just a flam? Oh no, I don't want that. I want this. Yeah. All right, so now we're starting to move. All right, so this intro is sounding decent. Let's move on to the next part and get some of this MIDI in. I probably can take this whole bass track and just put it in where I think it's gonna go. So I think we're gonna do trance synth for the whole thing. I'll cut it out when I need to. Choir, piano hits. What else we got? Harpsy, I'll leave that for the other part. I'll put orchestra, and I'll also put the lead tracks. I'll chuck those in the orchestra too. Why not? I know I'm not going to use those sub tracks, but let's just keep them here. That way I know I have this nice orchestra sound. I'll move these guys down to my synth track because I know they sound good in the synth because that's what we did for the intro. So let's hear all this together. Already sounds good. Alright, so that sounds pretty cool. I need to fix these. I don't like dealing with these low synths. They take up too much energy, so I always move them up a couple of octaves. And actually, for this part, I don't really want the synths. I want them to be choppier than this. So let's move up again. Alright, sweet. And I don't think I want them here always. I think I want these to be in my harpsichord track, because I fucking love the harpsichord. Oh yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You know, you guys don't do the harpsichord thing. I don't know what you're doing with your life. Let's do harpsichord, and I think that's gonna be really sick. Already sounds good. Let me raise all this stuff up. This is my trance gate. This thing makes such a big difference. This is a moneymaker. It sounds good all over the place, and I use it like throughout the whole song. harpsichord, dude. Sweet. Alright, so that's sounding fucking good. Let's copy all this shit right into piano, too. Piano fucking rules, dude. All this stuff sounds sick on piano, especially when you, like, kill the piano. Like, that's all it's doing. I mean, instant epic, right? And now I don't even need these guitars, really, except the ending thing. I think Jeff's doing something sick then, right? Yeah. It's pretty cool. That's pretty fucking cool, Jeff. I sound like there's some editing flub there. I'll go through it later. Piano, dude. Oh my god. Alright, so we're fucking moving, dude. So let me add some synth drums because, again, drums make everything good. So let me use that noise fill. I like to do shit like this all the time. Let's see. Where's my high one right here? So let me do this. Alright, this sounds like shit. It sounds like this. Alright, then you make that a little tighter. It sounds like this. Fucking awesome. That is the best transition that you've ever used, ever. Let me just make that the same length, and I think in context it's gonna sound sick. You hear that? It's just so subtle, right? But because it's subtle, it sounds so sick. Awesome. That sounds fucking good already. I'm gonna turn the rhythms down for this part just a little bit, and I also want to take Jeff's guitar. Let me take him like half a dB. Actually, I'm gonna make them normal volume on this wah wah part because he does pinch harmonics, right? Am I mistaken? Oh yeah, so let me add a reverb throw to that pinch harmonic. Awesome. And let me boost that just a hair. Let's give it a little bit of eng. Sweet. Alright, so let's keep going. Let me go back and add my synthy drums now that I have that noise track. Let me hear what the original song is doing there. Those drums sound awesome. I gotta get mine to be bigger. How do I do vocals? Come back here in a couple of weeks because we're doing another Tekken song and we do have vocals on it. And I think my buddy who is in the chat here from Super Monster Party is working on vocals. So we're gonna have vocals on that track. It's a really sick song. But what is going on here? But again, come back in a couple of weeks. We're gonna have vocals, and maybe I'll do a vocal stream as well. I think that'd be fun because vocals are very tough. They're very different. They're very tough. So I think that'll be a fun one. Vocals, I just compress them. Compress the hell out of them. Add some reverb. Add a bunch of effects. The way to make mixes sound good is not. Yes, the mixing is super important, but I think what's more important is to make the song interesting, right? You want the listener to listen to the song and hear parts changing, realize what's going on, and I think that's what's fun about mixing, and I think that's what's fun about creating music as well. That's incorrect. Oh, I need to move all this shit. This needs to be a hi-hat. Okay, so this is gonna be my verse drum loop that's gonna sit on top of my drums. I just duplicated that track so I don't mess with what I've already done. This is just gonna be like a drum layer with my drums to just give them a little more power. That sounds sick. I'm gonna take all of these kicks out. I don't think I need them. I think just the hi-hat and snare for this is gonna be fine. I'm gonna put the kicks, the accent kicks, on a different track so I have more control, because I only want those to kick on the bars. And I got this trick from Danimal. Danimal told me about this. It was something that Mick Gordon was doing about having multiple kicks to kind of fill out the spectrum, and I've been using this a ton. So let me duplicate this track again. So the move here is, yes, you have your kicks for your regular drums, but you don't want those to be like the biggest kicks. You can have bigger kicks, right? I think this one's huge. No, this one. So on my bar beat, right, I can put those like every 4, so they're not gonna be fucking nuts, but they're gonna give you a little bit of something, you know? They're gonna give you a little juice on top of your drums. I'll just loop these, and then I'll find out where to cut it later. I think this is gonna sound good. Yes. Oh, that's a snare. That's not what I wanted at all. I wanted this. It's fucking laughing, dude. Let's hear that. I think I need something sharper than that. I think that's a little too gnarly. Let me loop this and find a good kick sample. I think those. Not big hits. Too big. Cinematic. Nope. Penny? Nope. That's not bad, actually. That's bad. If I can't find one here, I have tons of EDM samples I can use for this. Yeah, that's too big. Let me find a good kick sample. I think I have my sample library. I have so much stuff. Let's see, EDM, sample pack, samples, drums, one shots, kicks. Let's test them. That's fucking awesome. All right, done. So what I'll do now is I'll keep my MIDI tracks there. I'll drop this guy in, and I'll bring up Resample-matic. If you guys are Reaper users, Resample-matic is fucking awesome. I use it all the time. What it is it's like a built-in sampler that they have, and you can just take anything from the arrange, import it in, and now you have a MIDI instrument, and it's cool. It's awesome. If you're gonna just do sample stuff. So that was the sample I just found. I just brought it in to Resample-matic. That's so nice and wide too. That's really good. What the hell is that? Alright, so those hi-hats are a little out of control. So what I'll do, those hi-hats sound good, but they're wicked out of control. So what I'll do is I'll go back into the sampler. I'm gonna pan those. Alright, so that's cool because my real hi-hats are on the left, sampled hi-hats are on the right. Let me compress this up a little bit. I'm gonna take some of this high out. Oh, automation. Let me compress. I want that snare to be a little fatter than that, and I also SSL. Where are you, 4K? Better. Take some of the high end out. Mainly just taking the bite off the hi-hat. I don't want these layers to be heard. I want these layers to be felt, right? Everyone says the same shit. That's an awesome sounding kick sample. Alright, so let's get that guy in control. Let me compress him. That sample sounds great. It's so wide. That's a really good sample. I don't think I've ever used that before. Let's compress this guy. Faster. Cool. Let me get some mud out of him. He's pretty not muddy though. Get that out. Alright. Good. So what we're doing, we're working quick. That's the name of the game. If you don't fucking work quick, dude, then you're wasting time. You're worrying about shit that doesn't matter. Alright, let's listen to this whole part. Piano's a little overbearing. I think the original song has like a what? Yeah, it's got like that pulsing bass thing going on. I want that, so let me make a pulsing bass. I'm gonna add trance synth, and I'm gonna add something from Anna. I just added my Sega guitar tone again. That's a long load. Oh, come on, Reaper. All right, so we got pulse bass, and I'm gonna open up Juggernaut again. Let me get rid of you. Oh, I should have kept that. I'll load Juggernaut. Get rid of all this shit. Juggernaut. See if I can get a pulsing bass. Let me drop Mike's bass into here so I already have something to work with. Is this dude? This dude? Pulse bass. Sweet. Let me turn this, see what I got. Alright, I want something meaner than that. Fat end. He might be cool. Oh, I love that. Sick. Alright, let's get that in the center. Let me get that with more sustain. I don't need these. Alright, so let me take the sound and fucking mangle it. Let me get some of the bass back. I think the previous chain I had on before was taking a lot of that out. Oh, there we go. Let me saturate the... It already is being saturated. A little bit of verb. Let me start pulsing this thing. Actually, I need more sustain. Do I have sustain control here? I do. Sweet, sweet. Alright, let me add the magic, transgate. Okay, that's starting to come together. Sounds good. Awesome. Alright, so I want to do something with Jeff. I didn't make it to the chorus yet. Let me do something with Jeff's guitar here. I think I can get... This part he's just holding fucking notes out, right? Yeah, let's do something here. I think I can get this a little cooler. Yeah, a little verb. Yeah, that's already better. Alright, so now we need to do something cool here. What was... Oh, I gotta cut some gaps in. What does the song do? Oh, it's got that snap in there too? Alright, so let me add the bois in there again. Let's see what we got. That bois needs to be way up. Okay, way up. Alright, so that's sounding good. I want that to die a little bit. I think the orchestral stuff is ringing out over it. I want that out. And I want to get my fill big and fatty. And then I'll add something to the reverse guitars too. Let me add some like chorus. I'm gonna take the bass out of there too. I want this to be, sorry bassy. I want this to be like flat, so when the next part comes in, it has like a way bigger punch. And I'm gonna take these guitars out because that note is too high. The part to be more dramatic than that. And I'll put this there. So yeah, where's my fill start? Fill starts here-ish, going to here. And then I'm gonna compress that fill up again to bring it to level. To make it sound more impactful. Good thing I have the compressor handy. There we go. bad. Good. That's sounding really cool. I need to fix that, though. What should I add there? Maybe I'll bring, make a cool synth that will sit in the gap. I want that to be like a hardish cut. Where you going, buddy? Gotta get used to the new way Reaper handles that stuff. His note is here. Let me add something fun sounding that keeps that note, because I'm kind of missing the highness of that. I do need to make this all sound bigger, like the original song. Fucking bigger. Let's do notes. This will be here. Alright, let's see if I can get a cool patch to put in here. Maybe Anna or something. I'm gonna just get through this chorus and then we'll wrap. And a default patch always sounds the best. Maybe I get something with more movement though. I do like that, but it needs to move more, right? See if I can get a cool patch. Let me loop just this. What else we got here? Atmosphere. That's pretty good, but it's kind of going reverse. That too slow. Do we have leads? Let me try these. No pig. Alright, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go back to default Anna, which is beautiful, deadly. Where are you, beautiful? I'm just fucking missing it. In it. Beautiful Dread. I'm sorry. Let me take the plate phaser off. Now let's just like mess with the sound. Alright, that sounds pretty. I want to like really futz with it. So let me open up Snap Heap, which I use constantly for this purpose of just mangling. Chorus. I'll saturate it, overdrive. Where's the overdrive distortion? Sorry, everybody. You're probably wondering what the fuck I'm doing. I don't even know. I'm just kind of flying here. that's how you make a cool sound. And that's how you get the gig. Alright, so what I'll do, I'll make sure that this is down when it's not being played. And I'll have it come in and then die before the fill because that is a fucking fat sound and I don't want that to be audible ever. So let's try that. Oh, Mad Gear. Sorry, dude. Just me playing with the synth for fucking 40 minutes. Yeah, so we're building a song here. I want to fill you up to speed, but you got to catch up in the live chat, dudes. Right now I'm going to add some risers to this. Let's hear this, dude. Woo. Fucking smooth. And you know what? Let's go nuts here. And also let me add my synth riser, which is going to be that same note. That's actually going to work out really well. So this note that we had going on up there, I'll put that into my synthesizer. And what my synthesizer does, I'll do the one with Transgate. So this is going to atonally build into the release. That's right, I said it. Let's hear this. Let me lower that. I want it to start lower. This is what mixing is, dude. It's making stuff like this. Fucking love it. And then that mixed with this. Alright, we're getting somewhere, we're getting somewhere. Alright. So let's hear that in context. There we go, let's hear it in context. I think I need to add more size. Maybe a bass drop or something. It sounded pretty big. I think it comes in on 8. I think I have an E or a B bass drop. Let me check my drops. Let's get some fucking size going. We gotta add some girth. I have my bass drop channel right here. Alright, that's pretty good. Let me make sure I'm fading in and out because these bass drops clip like a mother. Alright, let's see what we got from the beginning. Oh, I forgot my snap. I forgot my snap. I forgot the snap. Too many bass drops. I'm gonna add 6 more. Dun, dun. So there needs to be a snap here. Let's try this again. Heavy on the choir. I want this guitar to dance and swing as if it was having a fun time. I think I want to add Transgate. Look at all this shit. I want to add a Transgate onto this too. The Transgate's the fucking best. I use it constantly. Sometimes I'll just use it for like a straight trem effect. Because it's essentially what it's doing, but it just has a lot of control. So I'll automate this on and off. I want it to be off except here. Let's check this out. I'm gonna tighten this editing up too. Sorry, Jeff, but I think this should be good. I just want to get rid of all the play here. You see, I already think that sounds way more interesting than just the regular guitar. Fuck guitar. Thanks, dude. Appreciate you stopping by. Make sure you come back in a few weeks for the vocal one. Alright, and I'm gonna add the lead guitars into the synth track. What's the leads doing? Here we go. Because I want them to kind of carry... Oh, I fucking love this track, though. What do you guys know about Sega guitar? Right? Right? Fucking Sega. Well, maybe I'll add that. Let me add that. I'll add some Sega guitar in here. I think we need a little bit of Sega going on. Let's see this. I don't want to pull them out of pull space, but let me try this. Oh yeah, that's what I'm fucking talking about. God, that's so Mad Gear. Let me add Transcade onto this too, so I can get it to sound like someone's playing like downstrokey things. That's fucking perfect. That's all I wanted. Alright, so let me add that to one of the sides. Nice. So that. Context? I want to spread this. Let me add Faturator on it. Add spread. I think it needs to be wider. That's right. That's right. That's the good stuff right there. More leads. I need more leads. Let me futz with these guitars. My computer is starting to chug now that I added all those other programs. Let me add. I'm gonna add a filter sweep on the guitars in the background. That's gonna make them play well with everything else that's going on. These are for these guitars right here, the ones that the synths are mimicking. We do this a lot where we'll replace the guitars that Jeff laid down with synths because synths are way fucking cooler than guitars. Sorry, guitars. Let's hear this. Let me extend that. I need a new computer. Let me extend this. That should be good, and I'll stop it here. Make this go full time. Okay, I'll try. That is going pretty good. Let's hear that in context. Might be a little low. Bass drop, I forgot about that. Let me add this fill. I want tension going into this. Where does this start? And then that's gonna be it for really the mixing. I mean, the production's done. Usually for the second halves of songs, I'll change things up a lot to make them interesting. Yes, Captain Logan and the guy that looks like Jimmy Fallon. Miss you guys. That was an awesome interview, dude. Appreciate you stopping by. Hear the original. Alright, I want those drum hits in there. Man, that song sounds so good. It's a hard one to follow. Let me copy my drums to the synth track so I can get more juice. I want to get more juice on the kick drums. Piano roll, show. And then I'll add all of these dudes to kicks and make this a little longer so they ring out. Nice. Alright, sweet. I need to add more size to my snare, so I'm going to put some of those snare bars in too. Because I don't like dead air, so I figured it's better for me to have something in the background that is as cool and relaxing as the PS4 menu music. So instead of having dead air, I prefer to have PS4 menu music. There's nothing worse than dead air, in my opinion. And if you can avoid it by having menu music, then yes. It does shut off when the menu music does shut off when the music plays. So it's not going to interfere with anything like that. But again, it's mainly just so I don't have dead air and I'm just sitting here. But I fucking love it. I must have left this on loop like in my childhood or something. Childhood PS4, dude. In my later years for like ever, because this song has so much nostalgia for me for some reason. I must have just like left it on while I was like cleaning or something. That sounds good. I need to move this dude up. Yeah, this is starting together now. I feel like the Wii Shop music would be too distracting because it's so loved. because I was thinking of options to use, and this one just seems like the least intrusive. But I do love me some Wii Shop music. We're actually putting together our new set. We have a brand new set of antics and game show elements. We're calling it the Video Game Armageddon, and we have the Wii Shop music at one of the parts, and every time it comes on, it makes me smile. It's so good. Billy, you're absolutely right. All of our tracks are based completely on the PS4 music. Let me add another impact here. I want this to be... So that is it. Now is a loop point. Let me just blindly copy everything I've done to the loop point. Where is that loop point actually? It's right here. Yeah, Logan, the Zombies album is out. The company that put it out for us actually just released a limited edition version that has fucking blood in it. I'm not joking. It's got liquid in it or something, and it's one of the coolest things I've ever seen. So if you waited to pick it up, then now's a fucking great time to pick it up, because the new edition with the liquid is so cool. So if you're debating on picking it up, I would recommend, yes, now is a great time to pick it up. It's on respawnrecords.com. Nice guys. They have an amazing product. And the stuff that they put out is fucking top-notch stuff. Swearing a lot because I love it. It would make a great gift for someone that loves Zombies Ain't My Neighbors. Let's keep going here. Why do I have 2 reverses? I don't know why I did that. Yeah, dude. I feel like nobody cares about CDs anymore. Am I wrong in thinking that? We've had a batch of CDs like forever, and we just started selling vinyls at shows and stuff, and no one cares about the CDs. We sell like 2. Whereas the vinyls and our USB drives, we sell a ton of those. So I think vinyl, you know, I know it's been a while, but vinyl's the new is the new CD. Well, the new old CD, right? That's kind of what people are looking to buy now. I think a lot of people just like it for the art, which is myself. I have all of ours like framed and everything because I just think they look really good. All right, let's keep going. Carry these dudes over. Loopski should be here. I need to bring in that intro automation back on the guitars, which is, yeah. I need this back. Yeah. I think it's here. Absolutely, dude. Yep. No, I don't even listen to them, to be honest. If I'm going to listen to something, I'm going to stream it. I'm going to have it on Spotify or anything. I'm not going to do it here. Oh, Seahorse, I completely missed you on Twitter. Yeah, Seahorse, 100%. The cassette, I used to hate, like when I was in hardcore bands, years and years and years ago, bands would release on cassette, and I always hated it because I was thinking in the mindset, like, you know, who's going to have the cassette player to play it? But it's not even about that. It's just about having the cassette, right? The same thing with the vinyl, where the vinyl, just the the art and the size of the vinyl is just so good. Hated. Sorry, Seahorse. Yeah, I agree. I think cassettes are really cool. I think that's a great way to release. In all honesty, anything but a CD, I think, is a good way to release. Cassettes, records, USB drives, custom thumb drives with branding on it is the best way to do it. Right, I agree. Same. It's got the same quality as a vinyl, right? Where it's the imperfections that make it sound good. There's a UK only double disc release of Nights into Dream soundtrack coming out in March. I'm so stoked. Dude, Nights, I thought I was the only one that played Nights. I was like so deep in Nights when I was younger. I was like the only kid that had a Saturn, and I got that huge ass fucking controller with like the 3D joystick on it for the first time. And I loved that game. And you look back at it now and it kind of wasn't that good, but the soundtrack was wicked good, and the game I still have a soft spot for that game. Dude, I hope you do a review on your channel of that Nights vinyl, because I want to see it like right now. I also want to play Nights again. I have it. It's right over there. The same copy I had of Nights when I was a kid. Came in that huge jewel case Saturn that fucking got destroyed in like 2 seconds. You have a Nights tattoo? That's awesome, dude. That's so awesome. There was something about that game, right, where it must have been in the marketing, but it made you like really hyped to play it, and I don't know what the marketing was. Yeah, that 3D controller, dude, I have it. I still have it. It was like this big, and they had like this joystick on it that no one's ever seen before, and it was just a fucking joystick, right? And Nights is so good. I'm gonna totally play some drums here. I need to make my drums. What can I add to these? All right, that sounds good. How about this? Oh, that sounds pretty sick. I kind of love that. Nice. That sounds really cool. Let me give it a little more reverb. I think I want to add some more reverb on top. Seahorse, wouldn't you like to know? You've never helped us out with our stream. I'm just fucking kidding. So if you use Streamlabs OBS, I know people hate on Streamlabs, but if you sign up for the Ultra mode, which is what we did because we do want to stream more, we signed up for Ultra, and Ultra lets you multi-stream. So one of the reasons we wanted to sign up for Ultra was we wanted more people to go to our Twitch, because it's very hard to get an audience over there. I mean, I'm sure you know, right? So we figured the best way to do that would be stream our more interactive style streams like this one over to both platforms. That way we can constantly be telling people to go to Switch. Fucking Joel. Joel, what's going on, buddy? Oh my god, I used to work out with Joel in college. It was fucking amazing. How you been, buddy? I haven't seen you in years. I'm gonna add some snaps. They have snaps here? Do I get snaps? Percussion. Ooh. Nah. Come on. Living life, dude. I take that, yep. Thanks, my friend. Thank you. It's a road in life that no one expected to take. God, I wish I could do this full time. You kidding? I work like 200 hours a week coding, and then I do this every night. It's fucking awesome. Oh, that's cool. I like this. Is that too busy? No, I gotta use something else. See what else. I want some fucking snaps. Hip hop. Trap, dude. Trap's got snaps. Where are you, snaps, dude? I use you all the time. Claps. That's good. Let's do a little clappy part. Dude, this is so when we play this live, we can, like, everyone can, like, clap. Because they, like, know what's coming. Oh, hell yeah, dude. I'll check it out as soon as I'm done. That's so awesome that you have that. Dude, so we have Knights and Batman 89 in common, dude. You're, like, one of my best friends now. Geekvolution 2, you should go check out my brother's YouTube channel. It's Born to Be Rad with a 2, a number 2. He does all 80s and 90s stuff too. You guys should hook up and do get on each other's podcast because he does a very similar thing to you. More horror based, but he's still his gaming. I mean, retro collection is fucking amazing. He actually lives next door to me, which is awesome. I get to see him all the time. But I help him a lot with his videos. We do a lot of videos together on his channel too. So if you guys want more of me for some reason, go follow Born to Be Rad on YouTube. Again, his collection, I did a room tour for him maybe 6 to 8 months ago. I filmed it and edited it, but you should check out his shit, dude. It's crazy. He has so much stuff. Geekvolution, are you chatting on YouTube right now? Sweet. Let me see. Oh shit, I can't. Yes, I can't even chat right now. But it's Born to Be Rad. That's his channel. That's what I'm talking about. It's the good stuff right there. Let's get some reverb. Let's put you in a room, my friend. A little. There we go. And let me take out some of that high with Pro Q. I think that's going to be a little too distracting. Hell yeah, dude. He's going to be pumped. He always asks me, he's like, dude, why don't you tell anyone that follows you to come watch my channel? And I've tried, and it's impossible to get anyone to do anything. So I really appreciate that. All right, let's check this now. Make sure you tell him that lame Genie sent you so my brother knows that I told you to go over there. Ah, it's starting to sound really good. All right, let me keep building this part out. Then this is fun. So let me put some doubling on that with delay. Yeah, he does. He's worked really hard on his production. Again, he posts like I don't want to say as much as you, but he posts a lot. He's constantly uploading, so he has a ton of content. And again, he has awesome insights on horror movies, and he's like a pure passion collector. It's if you, I can't even describe to you what his house looks like. Oh, is that better or worse? That's better. Yeah. Copied all this wrong. Fucking A, dude. Yeah, dude, live streaming is just, it's easier, dude, right? Because, I mean, not for what we do, but if you're just doing stuff like talking head camera stuff, like, hell yeah, dude, just fucking live stream it. You don't need to edit. It's such a time save to just go that route, and just do the easy live stream. All of the people that watch your content anyway are gonna watch your live streams and get the same exact info they would normally get as if you were gonna sit there and edit a long ass video. You know, that's the way I look at it too. Again, for someone like us, we really don't have that luxury, but we're trying to live stream more so we can. I feel like as a band, we have zero FaceTime with anybody. Nobody talks to us, you know. We're just a almost like a faceless kind of a band that just puts music out and never really interacts. So that's the whole point of these live streams. We want to make sure we can talk to people more. And dude, you have 6 kids? Good for you. Congratulations. I only have 1 and it's difficult. That sounds real epic. So I want Transgate. I want that high. I want that to be fluttering all over the frickin' place. Alright, I want you to be doing some cool shit. God, my computer is fucking hating me right now. I want this to be building each section. Yeah, Geekvolution, Captain Logan, your son rules too. The fact that he does the podcasting and all of your live videos with you as well, and how engaged he is with even us when we were on it. It's like having a 13-year-old myself. I know it's tough to get your kids to take any interest in what you do. So your son fucking rules. And I'm sure the rest of your kids are equally as cool. Right. I totally see that with the live streaming. And that's, I mean, I know that's your job. That's really what it comes down to. And I would be willing to bet it fits way into your schedule better to do live streams, to just be, you know, so you don't have to take that editing time. I mean, what are you hoping for with a edited video that you'll, you know, hit the algorithm? I mean, that's what we all want, but it just doesn't work like that anymore. Not it's not 2010. Oh, that Sega sounds good. I love this, that this turned into a mixing tutorial stream and now we're just talking. It's fucking awesome. This is exactly what I wanted to happen, but we never have enough people in our live streams. Jason has gotten so confident on camera, he's hilarious in the room. Dude, that's the thing, like, being confident on camera, that's not an easy skill, so I'm hoping, does he have his own channel? I'm hoping he kind of goes that route too. Content creation's super fun. Not anything that I ever thought I would do. I was a wicked shy kid when I was young. Super quiet, but now, you know, I always played in bands, and being on stage is what I used to love the most. Now I just like creating content's wicked fun. I like this more than anything. Game secrets. Research. Oh, that's sick, dude. Good for him. And, you know, liking retro games at that age too is that's not easy to come by. My kid, she's a huge gamer, but she does not really care for anything retro unless it's like something that we played when she was a kid. So interesting. Thanks, Seahorse. Doubling up, dude? Hell yeah. I'll take it. We need all the help we can get on this shit. Seahorse, your channel does pretty well too on Twitch. I started looking it up. I never use Twitch personally. Are you happy with Twitch? It's just something that we just started kind of looking into recently out of you know, just more avenues of connecting type of thing, but we never use it really. Two to three streams going? What does that mean? Like you stream at the same time? You have 2 to 3 streams going? Oh, you mean what you're watching? I was like, damn, dude. I was like, you're a fucking wicked hustler. Very happy with Twitch. Good. Again, you know, I'm hoping to move all of my drumming live streams there at some point. I want to not do live on YouTube because I feel like every time I go live I lose subscribers. So I want to eventually move all that shit to Twitch, but it's just really tough to get the audience. Yeah, I bet. Right. Yeah, Seahorse, I wanted to do the drum streams more often on Twitch. And then do like a once a month on YouTube. I feel like Twitch appreciates the more regular content, where YouTube people just get annoyed if you go live too much. Where's that slice coming from? Oh, that could be it. No, it should be right there. That's right. Where's it? Oh. Oh, Seahorse, you know I'm gonna take you up on that. I don't even know what a fucking bit is, dude. Thanks, dude. I really appreciate that. I'm hoping we can play MagFest next year so we can hang out again. That what I did doing too? I guess so. Alright, let me play from the beginning. I think I'm nearing completion. Sweet, dude. Alright, let me did you Seahorse, did you go this year? Did you have a good time? I heard it was fucking packed. Ooh, I love that snap. Get that piano up more. Need more piano. You need all the harp, all the piano. Part of Eric, this is Reaper. It is absolutely free. You can pay $40 to get the full version, and it's by far the best DAW there is. Huge Reaper fan here. I've been using it for probably 10 years, maybe more. It's fucking awesome. And if you want to get started on audio production, it's the best way because it's free. The point of entry is super low. Oh, you got COVID, Seahorse. Of course you did. Why wouldn't you go into MagFest? I saw like 10 of my friends test after getting home from MagFest and being like, hey, I didn't get COVID. And they tested like 2 days later and they all had it. So it's, of course. Oh, yeah, Eric, dude. If you want to work with audio, then absolutely try Reaper. The price is so right, dude. Yeah. Reaper is all about what you fill it with. So the more plugins you have, the better Reaper's going to be. Reaper comes with a ton of stock plugins, but you know, it's all about what you put into it, type of thing. Let me play this from the beginning. I think I'm about wrapping up here. I just want to hear everything as a whole. I'll start reading. Yeah, Seahorse, 100%. I'm gonna try not to stop it. I'm gonna be looking at your questions when you're in the chat. If you have any questions about anything you're hearing, let me know and I'll answer them as soon as this is done. But I think I'm rounding the end except for the end. That was weird. I gotta fix that. Fucking bass drops, dude. Yeah, so I think one of the reasons this is sounding so good is because of the Sega guitar. Ah. Fucking gorge, dude. It's so gorge. Oh my god. Oh, there's a gap there. What are you doing, buddy? Sega's getting fucking wild. Hold on. Fix yourself. It's... I stank face. Dude, did you hear that? The bass... Every time that bass drop hits, I just fucking can't help it. I'm not used to it. Let me get this thing fucking moving. I don't want this to be the same. I want this to move. You know what I add to this too? I'm gonna add wah. I think wah would sound great on this guitar. Yeah, I'm gonna add some wah. Seahorse, dude. Yeah. So it's funny when the way I look at production a lot is a lot like EDM. In a past life, I used to write and produce music for toy companies like Hasbro. A buddy of mine we had a little company and we were doing very well before COVID. It all kind of went to hell after that. But regardless, I learned a lot of how to produce EDM stuff just because of that. Because a lot of companies wanted EDM tracks or EDM. I say EDM tracks, but like light EDM, like baby EDM tracks, because that was kind of the rage around that, 2017, 2019 point. But yeah, a lot of my production is just EDM stuff. That's all it is. As far as like the huge impacts and the sound design, that's all just fucking ganked from EDM. Oh yeah. I love that. We also the same company that used to work on the toy commercials, we also scored an entire cartoon that was exclusive to Facebook when Facebook started doing TV stuff. It was called Liver Spots and Astronauts, and it was starring Colin Mockery, Keith David, who else? Fucking who's the blonde girl from Mad TV on King of Queens? I don't remember her name. Nicole Sullivan. So if you want to watch some amazing animation by our buddies who started the whole cartoon in general, they fucking killed it. But then it just, you know, Facebook TV never quite picked up like they thought it was, so the project kind of got canned. But it was such an awesome show to work on. But all of the music you hear in that, every last bit of it was me and my buddy. It's a Facebook exclusive. If you can even find it on Facebook at this point, it's called Liver Spots and Astronauts, but it's awesome. Super Monster Party. Do you want me to add cowbell? I'll add fucking cowbell right now. Do I have cowbell? I gotta have some oh, I do. Let me add some. This is gonna be our little secret. Don't tell the guys. I'll add some cowbell. All right. You asked for it, interactive stream, and I bet you're not even here anymore to see the cowbell. Where are you, Drum Lab? Cowbell. Where are you? It should be coming out. I have everything soloed, huh? I do. Yeah, dude, Facebook TV, man. It's the fucking wave of the future. Idiots. I hate them. I think I'm also streaming on Facebook right now. But yeah, it was an awesome period of audio production for us. It was so fun. That's a good one. This one's called Nice. That's the good stuff right there. The high one? The high one is even lower than the low one. All right, so let's add some cowbell. Where can I put this? Let me think. That wah sounds really fucking cool. Let me just tame it up a little bit. It's a little much. Switch our, we can bring these up. That's good. Alright. Cowbell. Let's do some upbeat cowbells here. I want like a kind of thing going. Let's see. E, right? That sounds right to me. I think it's a C, right? I'm gonna see, this is what I love about audio production and Seahorse. This is kind of like that EDM mentality where you can have a sound like this fucking stupid cowbell and then you can just take it and run with it and make it into something way cooler than a cowbell, right? That's the kind of shit that I love to do. And that is the worst loop point of all time. Let me loop this. I hate that. Alright, let's sick. Alright, so what I want to add a gate in here, and I think I'm gonna be done. Some fucking sick cowbell, dude. Let me add a gate before Murder Melodies. Let's see what this is doing. What's that high-pitched bullshit going on up there? We can notch that out. Some of those samples fucking suck. That's awful. What's this? I see you! Get out of here and never come back. Oh yeah, that's some good stuff right there. I just solo cowbell for about 5 minutes. Let's hear that in context. Awesome. Oh, Jeff, sorry. I hate you. Why do you sound like that? What's this? Alright, so that's it-ish. One more listen, we good. I kind of like not having anything. That was I kind of like it being that subdued. Oh, let me bring a little of that back. I need more size in my snare. Yeah, dude, no thumbnails. I'm a fucking thumbnail goon. Cameron, what did you say? Dude, interrupting my flow. I was in my flow state and you interrupted that. Unfucking no. So mixing heavy guitars and synths. It depends what kind of synth, because synths take up mad room, but I think the best advice I would have for that is you got to make one of them sound bad on its own. Usually I tend to make the guitar sound okay. I mean, but those are pretty thin, right? Those guitars are very thin, but that's because I know in my head I'm gonna be doing all of this, right? And I think it works well this way for us because I don't want any of my production to be heard. I want it to just to be a bed, and I want the guitars still to be the main instrument, but I still want you to be able to feel all the shit that's happening underneath. So, but for someone that has a synth player in a band, I think panning is going to be your best friend in that, for sure. Fucking cowbell. Thank you, Seahorse. Okay, why does that poke out so much? What is it? Why is he so pokey? Where's the kick coming from? Did it not catch? Okay, I don't need kicks there. I don't need them at all. They just make it sound stupid. All my endings hit off time. That's fucking great. Yes. There we go. Nope. Here. And one thing I always do too is I always fade out with reverb and then fade in with reverb, fade out with volume to make the ending really smooth. Nice. Cool. I think that is most likely it. I'm sure by the time Friday comes, you'll hear more changes and more alterations than this, but I mean, that is kind of what I go through every week. So, I think I'm going to end it here. I really appreciate everyone chatting. I love the chatting. And, you know, I really, really appreciate it. I want to do more of these. Always fade out in a montage, dude. Always fade out in a montage. It's one of my favorite covers we've done, too. But yeah, I want to do more of these streams. Maybe not once a week, but maybe every other week. Or if I know I have a song coming up that's going to have a lot of production, because I think these are really fun. Also, I get to talk to everybody a lot because there's a lot of downtime when I'm doing this. A lot of it is just me futzing with fucking EQs. So, where's this ending? I want to add thing to my fills. A lot of it is just me messing with sounds and EQs, and it's not really fun, but I figure because I'm doing stuff that is so routine at this point, I can have good conversation while I'm doing it. So that's why I want to come on here. Yeah, so maybe, you know, if you guys want it more, if you guys want it less, whatever. I know YouTube is going to unsub from our channel because I'm doing it more, so I'll just do it more. Right? Okay, sweet. So I'll, that's it. Done. Look out for the song on Friday. Per my schedule, tomorrow I'm going to be editing the video to this audio. Why is everything shifted a little bit to the right? What happened there? Fucking Reaper. Oh, thanks, Billy. I'm just going to stream constantly because every time I do, Billy gives me $20. I fucking love you, Billy. Yeah, all you guys rule. Again, I want to do more of these because I think they're fun. I do this every week anyway, so I might as well talk to you guys while I do it. That's my mentality. But yeah, so again, I'm going to be editing the video for this tomorrow, doing the finishing touches, but what you just heard and saw is essentially going to be the final mix, I think. Thanks, Part of Eric. Appreciate it, dude. Come back next time. Thanks, Seahorse. Thanks, Mad Gear. Thanks, Jeff. I don't have to thank you. Thanks, everybody else. I appreciate it. You guys fucking rule. And come back with more questions if you have them on production, and I'll be here to answer them. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye. That should say endings.